What's up, guys? I hope I'm in frame. I've never done this before. So my brother was an artist, okay, and I was not. I was the other side of things. Yeah, I was a fighter. He was an artist primarily. So it's an interesting time in my life. Very interesting. I'll talk about a few things today while I draw a picture. And guys, I am no artist, okay? So it's like you're watching your maybe, I don't know, maybe 4-year-old do some painting. I took one painting class with Jody. We actually did it for Valentine's Day this year. And that was a lot of fun. And, I'll share with you guys a really interesting story of my life. I talk about it all the time. It's the memo. And all these things I'm gonna try to somehow connect them into this picture, okay? Because along the way, in this journey, I'm now 45 years old. No, I wish I was 45. I'm 49. You learn a few things, learn a few little things. And in this picture, I'm going to try to show what an interesting lesson is to me. So when I was a kid, I was raised. I guess the word is atheist. You're not basically not religious. You're not religious. You're like a scientist or something. That's what I guess the classification would be. I forgot to open white. So we weren't really religious at all. We weren't really religious. And I never really understood religion until much later in life. I didn't understand its value even. I didn't get it just because we were not religious. But I think sometimes, what the parents are, the kids are assumed just to automatically know, and maybe my parents are religious. I don't want to speak for them. But we were not raised religious. Which leads to a certain type of thinking. Like, you have no code, really. There's no, set answer for anything. The whole right and wrong thing is not always so obvious to someone who doesn't have religion in their life. Sometimes. And when I was a kid, I didn't read very much. Not very much at all. But I fell in love with a certain book that was given to me. I'll have to know, what am I going to draw here? Yeah. It was given to me by my grandmother. No, it wasn't my grandmother. It was my mother. My mother got this for me. My mother got me this book for Christmas. And it was a book about Norse mythology. And man, I loved it. I think I read every single story of Norse mythology. I think I fell in love with lots of the gods. I think my favorite obviously was Thor, who isn't. I was fascinated by the idea of you know, the final battle, and what is that place called? What's that place where Valhalla, right? Valhalla. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit slow, guys. So Valhalla was heaven. Valhalla was heaven. And heaven is a fascinating concept to me. Heaven is a fascinating concept. Heaven is a lot of things. And you can think about it as a direction. You can think about it as a feeling. But it's where everything's good and perfect, right? Everything is good and perfect. And yeah, and the perfect that they define in Norse mythology is wild. Heaven in Norse mythology, you fight all day, you fucking kill each other every day, and then the Valkyries come and put you together, and you know, you're good. You're good. You drink a big party day, night. You have a ton of fun all night, fully recharged, and you go to bed and you wake up and you do it again, right? And this is Valhalla, right? But you know, I wasn't like a Norse. I didn't think I was like a Norse guy or anything. I just thought that was cool shit, and that was about it. And what I really figured out was that, you know, when I was in the military, is there are advantages to having all that stuff figured out. And it's just about speed. It's about how fast you can make decisions, more complicated ones, especially when it comes to ethical ones, when it comes to ways of good and evil or whatever, right and wrong, or what's aligned with the mission or whatever. But the more you have like a solid framework where you have the answers to everything, the faster you are, the more congruent you are, the more readable you are. And so it's interesting, like, how long have people been alive? Right? And what is the greatest code, like, right? Like, people have been trying to figure out codes to live by for optimal success, right? As a species, we've been trying to do this. Like, what is the code to make our species better? And the thing is when people have been working on something for such a long time, it starts to get really good. So it's tough for an atheist to beat the code. However, the code is still probably slightly flawed. So there has to be some kind of a blend, you know. Anyways, what am I rambling on about? Nothing, really. But this is a picture of one of the lessons that I learned. And somehow it connects. You know, I am now an old man. And I say that, you know, it's so important in life to be accurate. Just to be accurate. I'll still be very good. And we're talking about arm wrestling now. I'll still be very good. I'll become especially dangerous in categories. Very dangerous in categories, I think. We'll see. But I think I can still do problems in the categories. And that will be very interesting to me. It'll be a great challenge for me. Because I have theories that I'd like to test. But My strongest is behind me. And my whole life, I have just wanted to be a fighter. Just a fighter. Very simply, put me at the front. Put me at the front and let me fight. Let me be your spear. Somehow I'm still here. I wish I could have been braver or, been given the opportunity. But who knows? But I now believe that, I don't know that, well, it's not, when the time arises, of course. But there are many ways that need my attention. And sometimes you have to pull your memo. You have to pull your memo. And you have to realize that you are not the pointy end. You are slightly further back. And now you influence with this in mind. So, so here we are painting pictures today. What am I grateful for? What am I excited about? What am I manifesting? And powerful words. I am grateful Here we are. Let's start with black. Looks fallen, right? I am grateful. Somehow there is some truth in so many of these stories, and I didn't know them. And I think that I should at least know them because they're very powerful. They've survived so long, and there must be great value in all of them, great lessons. I've seen it, I've seen it now. I've seen the value in these things. I've met people, I understand. But just the very little bit I know, some stories are true. Yeah, this next piece can't be black, This is one of my slower videos, guys. I don't think I've ever made a video this long. But, this to me is, I haven't painted really, just other than that one time with Joe, I haven't painted since I was a kid. And I think it's something that I'm going to do more. I know I'm like, I told you this is like, maybe 4, but this means something to me. And, you don't have to be the best in the world. It's something to enjoy it. Something like that, maybe. This is the harder part. This is the much, much harder part. Way up high, reaching. Way up high. I need more yellow. So, what did I learn? What was I? What I learned is the most important thing is to have faith, and to believe that you had a solid landing if you needed it, so you could fight hard. You could fight hard without worry of anything. You knew your place. It was your honor. To fight. And it was, the story goes that the bravest of the warriors in the heat of battle will receive a tap. Will receive a tap on their shoulder. And from there, they know that they will be taken to Valhalla after the fight. And I'm terrible at this. Oh my God. Does this look like an angel? Does this look like an angel? Oh man. Okay. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, so they receive the tap, right? You get the tap. These wings are even longer. My God, these are big wings. You receive the tap, and you can then fight your hardest, because at that point, you know that it's only upwards from here. It's only upwards. Fight your hardest. Fight your hardest. And as a warrior, as a fighter, you are not one thing. Especially not the one that you want to be. To be great, you need to receive a tap. So messy. There we go. Okay. Something like that. Okay. You know, if there's one thing I could say is, as a young fighter, put your heart into what you're doing. People think about women and fighting. When you're a young man, you think about, I want to be a fighter, but I still want the love of a woman, which is completely understandable. You don't necessarily need to go and chase. You don't need to. And what does hell look like here? Let's see. So 4 years old, totally 4 years old. You make a lot of mistakes in life. You will, because there are things you won't be able to recognize down here. Because when you fight your hardest, you don't know where you're going to end up, and it will be new. It will be a new place, one that you don't know about, and that's and for an atheist, that's difficult. It's difficult. The deeper you go, the more it is very good to know the answer to complicated ethical decisions. And you need to be able to make them quickly. Otherwise, you will waste too much time, and you will die, more likely. So I think it's important, very important, to understand ethics, codes of behavior from the religions. Why? Why is that important? Because they give the best results. That's why. Because they are the most in line with what we as a species are trying to do. However, of course, there remains things to figure out as we continue to be faced with new challenges. Kind of going up, kind of light going up to heaven. There is a path. There's a path, guys. And we're all on it. We're all on this path. Whether we want to be or not, because what lies off the path is actually just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And unfortunately, ultimately lead to one's and potentially others' demise. So, how do you find the path? How do you find it? Well, you do your best, first of all. If you have great understanding from religion, and I'm not saying that all religions have it right either. Okay, I have not reviewed. However, based off my observations, truly religious people seem to be very congruent and well balanced and make great decisions, typically. So I think there's some lessons there. And that's, again, what this is about. This is a story of religion, okay, that I knew from a kid, that happened in my life. It happened in my life, okay? We're all going somewhere, right? We're all going somewhere. Let's make this guy a little bit more fucked up, okay? He's fucking bleeding. He's bleeding from his elbows, especially. His fucking heart. His heart is fucked. His heart is fucked. Yeah. Even his mind is exploded. Badly. And just general, we'll just say general decay. Drips. Let's get this dripping. Drip. Yeah, just kind of falling. Just a mess from the darkness. And a little bit from the fire too. Just a little bit. Yeah. So why are we all here? You know, it's for evolution, right? We are here to be part of the process of evolution and just moving forward, moving towards our best future. And sometimes you get it wrong. You will get it wrong. Not too many people are Jesus Christ, for example. Okay. For example. But if you fight with purity, and you fight with belief, and you fight with faith, with good faith, you'll be seen. You'll be saved. You'll be saved. And you'll be brought back towards light. And I don't don't know. I don't know. What else does this thing need? I know what it needs. I know what it needs. Because you have to remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's others. There's others being saved. Right beside you. Right beside you, being saved. Right beside you. Maybe one's even ahead of you. There's a good guy here. There's a good guy. And maybe he's the most bloody of all. Maybe he is. That's okay. It's not the blood that is going to identify you. It's going to be something else. This guy's all bloody. Yeah. Yeah. Bloody. We'll make this other guy over here. He's not bloody at all. He's not bloody at all. He just didn't like it. He just was not cool with any of it. Anyways, but still, was selected. Still selected. Let's put a few more. Let's put a few more of these. And see, now you see my grade 4 level really coming out. Like, obviously, this is a mess, okay? I do like to paint, but you can see I don't do a lot of it. I've been fucking training, okay, guys? I've been fucking training for such a long time. And, anyways, I have practice tonight, 7 o'clock. I've told myself, I'm only going to do what I love. Okay, this is what happens every time I fail. I fall down and I'm like, I have to do what I love. Otherwise, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And this guy, you're not even going to see all the... She's down here more with him. She's pulling up this way. And you know, I don't know, but I don't really identify, in my mind, so many angels being dudes. I guess there are, but do they have wings? I don't know. Probably they do. I don't know anything about this, but in the way I envision it, maybe because I read Norse as my origin, you know, valkyries are all chicks. They're all girls. Yeah, all the valkyries, I don't think there's boy valkyries. I could be wrong, but you know what? I'll actually gonna give. This is where it comes into balance, right? So I'm gonna give these yellow things just a little bit. They're burned up a bit too, right? Not as bad, but it didn't come for free. Oh, I forgot that, dude. It didn't come for free, right? They're bleeding a bit too. This one's bleeding right from the eyes. It's bleeding right from the eyes. You know, the eyes is a common place to bleed. It's a very common place to bleed for these ones. Because these two are connected, you know. They're connected. And they share something in common, you know. They share something in common. Because it's hard to have clarity down here. When you're in heaven, clarity is much easier to find. But they're all doing it for the right reasons. All of them. They're all doing it for the right reasons. Fighting. I gotta fix that guy up. I forgot about the fairy up or the angel or the valkyrie or the whatever winged creature from mythology saves us, or maybe that's a metaphor. I have no idea. But a winged creature save you. And I was fascinated by this idea when I was a kid, you know, and it's incredible when you make connections in your life, when you meet people of purity. Thank you for your time. Thank you for always saving me. Let me do one last thing. Here, on this one, on the left breast, let me just put a little patch. And that can be good enough. Thank you, everybody.